Hello all. Today we have an interesting session for all of you. So students, make sure to watch this video till the very end because we are joined with top experts from top universities and colleges from both USA and Canada. So today we have with us Dr. Peter J. Holbrook. He is the Chief Operating Officer Provost of Tiffin University, Ohio, USA. So sir, first of all, how do you like it in India?
I really like India. This is my second time here, and I have had the opportunity to visit Kanan and the campuses, and I really enjoy the culture and the people of India, and so I've become really like maybe even a second home as I'm starting to get more familiar with India.
And so has it been the first time or have you been here before as well?
This is my second visit. I was
Okay,
here
that's
this
great.
past November
Okay.
and had an opportunity to work with Canon at developing an online program to be offered in India. And so we've been working on that, but also we've been working to develop a very strong relationship of a pipeline of students to the United States, to our campus in Tiffin, Ohio.
So we welcome you here, and it's a pleasure that we have Dr. Peter J. Holbrook with us today. So, sir, before I begin, firstly, I want to know whether now a lot of students they aspire to study abroad, and there are a large number of students from India itself who are looking to study in the USA. So, according to you, what makes the USA a prime destination for international students? I mean, in terms of programs and in terms of the cities, and especially with regard to the institution that you are representing.
Okay.
So, how would you say that? I mean, what are the what are the key features that make it extremely attractive for international students?
Okay, good. Great question. One of the things that we pride ourselves at Tiffin University in Tiffin, Ohio, is really that ability to create experiences for students, and that opportunity to study in the United States is really important because we allow our students, especially at Tiffin University, to be able to apply the knowledge into practice. And so what does that mean is that our students will have the opportunity to study with their professors, learn all the different theories and practices associated with a given course, but then they'll actually talk about how is it applied into real world practice. And so what we find and what we do better than probably most institutions is our faculty not only have the academic credentials to allow them to teach at the college level or the advanced level, but also they have the practical work experience. So it's not uncommon for you to have a professor, let's say in criminal justice and social sciences in the criminal justice field, to be able to be a past police officer or chief of police or head of detectives and investigations. And so we really pride ourselves in providing that opportunity for our students. I think the thing that is really important about an education system in America is it's one of the strongest education systems in the world, and that we really do a good job of helping students to be able to prepare for the real world, but to think critically, to be able to communicate, and then also to be able to provide extensions of their ideas into new ways of being and innovation.
Okay. So, like you said, that after listening to this, I feel like the courses, the programs that are offered there at Tiffin, they are rather unique and quite diverse, and they cover various aspects as well. It's not restricted to just one particular stream or one particular field. So, what would you say are the most in demand or high demand programs at Tiffin University as well, and overall in the USA? Like there are a lot of international students who would prefer engineering and something like that. So, at your institution, what are the high demand programs?
Okay, good. Tiffin University has 4 schools within our university, and each of the school has what I would say high demand programs. So you take, for example, our School of Criminal Justice and Social Sciences.
Okay,
We have a very large program in forensic psychology. It's one of the first in the United States that was formed, but it's the whole idea of how do you study the field of psychology from the criminal. And from why do they commit the crimes that they do? What is the background in that? So the university also, when you talk about forensics, we have forensic psychology, but we also look at it from forensic science. So how do you use sciences like chemistry and biology to be able to recreate crime scenes and to understand what happened and to be able to look at it from a scientific background that will allow you to prove using
Okay.
scientific methods within that. So there's that opportunity to look at it through the area and the lens of forensics. So of course, forensic psychology is very huge at the university through our School of Criminal Justice and Social Sciences. And then we have national securities and government relations. And that's really where our students will learn, continue about the whole thing that all of us are concerned about is terrorism, and how do you prevent terrorism, and how do you protect government secrets as you do, and working through that. In our School of Business, of course, we have degrees within finance and business management and accounting, but our flagship is our MBA program, and students have the ability to earn an MBA, but with about 7 different areas of specialty that range from data analytics to fraud and forensics, that forensics again that appears through that, or even marketing or international business. Some of our pride programs, though, come from our School of Science, Technology, and Health,
Great.
our STEM related programs.
Yeah.
So cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, computer science, business intelligence, and analytics are some of the key programs at both the undergraduate and graduate level. Along with, we have a very strong program in exercise science. That program has both the opportunity to study as an undergraduate within the field of exercise science, but also at the graduate level with our Masters of Science in Clinical Exercise Physiology. And so we have that ability for our students to be able to be in well-recognized programs and in high demand fields. We're a professional university, and what does that mean is we prepare students for the professions. And so if you look at what are high demand majors throughout the country in the United States, you start with anything around STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and math. It is really the area, and especially when we start to go into emerging fields of artificial intelligence, still cybersecurity is very important, but all of those cutting edge types of programs are becoming high demand. And then we also are finding in America aging workforce, and so we're going to need employees in almost every sector and every job. And so the big thing that we want to continue to help our students do is be able to learn for their lifetime. So that, yes, you're going to learn enough about your knowledge about what's today, but we also have to teach you the skills about how do you learn as the world continues to evolve.
That's true. And so based on what you said, the programs, they are quite interesting and quite unique, and students, once again, do pay attention to this video, because this university offers a range of programs from forensic psychology to criminal justice and even AI. Yes. Because as the world is advancing today, so we move faster and more towards AI. Pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, so the world is going to run on AI as well. So do watch this video till the very end and keep up with us. So I also wanted to ask, what are your opinions in terms of AI in the education sector? Like, as I already said before, that AI is going to be the future, but even you offer programs as well. So how do you connect them both, and how much of it is going to be, how much in demand will it be more in the future?
Okay, so to answer that question, it's really a two-part question. So first of it is, how is AI impacting what's happening in the classroom and learning, and then what's happening in the field? And so I have an opinion on both of those. At the university, at Tiffin University, we took a very progressive, forward-thinking stance about the use of artificial intelligence in education. So we don't police it, we encourage it. So we are preparing students for work in their professions, and they're going to be using AI. So it's, what better way to teach them how to use AI is then how to do it in their academic subjects. And so what we hope to push our students forward to thinking about is critical thinking. And so when you use AI, and let's say you're using it to write a paper, and you do a search, you start to get all this information from a variety of different sources, but how do you know if it's true? How do you know it's not? And you can use AI to come up with a set of arguments. So what we've asked our students to do is use AI to be able to come up with all the different arguments that you could take on a position. Which ones do you think best resonate to answering or influencing people towards a direction? Then you look at that, and then you start to source the data. And so then you start to say, well, is this factual? And so you're going to have to dig a
Oh,
little bit
yeah.
deeper. Is there any hallucinations
Mm.
within that? And what viewpoint is missing? So we know that AI just pulls from what's ever been out there, but it's got to be published information or information that's readily
That's
available, which there's sometimes perspectives that are not that are hidden from that. Within the world of work, I think AI will create a different workplace. I don't think it's going to replace humans. It's going to take lower level
yes.
tasks that we really need machine learning to be able to help
Mm.
us to do and help us to gather that information faster so we can use it for decision making. But what it's going to allow us to do then, like an education institution, allow us to spend more time with our students solving their real life issues and helping them attain their education rather than going through and checking how many students are ready for graduation and that stuff. We can use AI to be able to do that. So I really see it as, yes, it's going to change the world of work. We're all going to be using it. Yes, there's going to be certain jobs that are not going to be needed anymore. Coding is one of them.
Mm.
However, there's always going to need a place for people to do the more advanced practices.
That's
And to be competitive, you're going to have to be able to stand out in the crowd. And so you're going to have that talent that can help you to do that.
That's true, sir. And so now, with regard to AI, so there is also the possibility of maybe an ethical issue because in terms of, I mean, this generation, it's heavily dependent on AI. It is unfortunate, but it is dependent on AI even for academics.
Right.
So from an education sector, um, you might have come across certain documents that might have been written using AI. So what are your views on that, sir?
That's really a great question because I think people have to start from the standpoint that you could use AI to do your documents
Yes.
and to have credentials and all of that stuff. But that may get you in the door, but sooner or later, you're going to be found out.
Yeah,
So the
that's
big key that I think we always have to tell students is be honest and do your best work,
true.
as well as your own credentials. Make it represent to you because don't do it the other way around because it's going to have long-reaching impact. So you may be able to even fool us and get a degree based on credentials that were created that were fraudulent or fake, but it's going to catch up to you. And those are the embarrassing moments of life that you don't
Yeah.
recover from. So what I say is make sure if you're going to use AI in a college application or what you're doing, make sure it's your work that you're wanting to improve. So I use AI every day by writing,
Yeah.
but I write my own statements and my
Yeah.
own work, but then I use it to say, can I make it more clear?
Hmm.
Can I make it more simple? Because you can tell right now I talk really complex. And how can I make it more influential and that stuff? That's all a good use of it because it's still my thinking
Yes.
that is I'm trying to get communication about. But the whole thing is in this day and age, and especially if you're going to study abroad, it is really serious, and especially in America at this point in time in our history, fraudulent, illegal
Yes.
applications are going to be treated very seriously, and will have consequences. Not maybe by the university, but by our government.
That's true, sir. So that's a good point you raised because my next question was based off of that as well. So talking about AI just reminded me of, and like you mentioned, so fraud cases. There have been in study abroad in this industry, there are many scams and visa frauds and immigration scams and etc. So my question is, like with the number of fraud cases that are actually increasing now, be it through AI or fake agents and all these consultancies and through fake documents, even financial statements that are bungled and they are bogus. So how can agencies, universities, and even students maintain the authenticity and credibility of these institutions, and how can students trust whether what they're looking towards is authentic and whether there are any questions raised on its credibility?
Okay.
So how can we ensure that?
Okay. One of the things that I think for all students who are looking to study abroad is to work with an agency like Kanan that allows them to go through the process of vetting. A vetted student coming from Canon or any other type of very credible agent is going to have a double set of eyes that will assure that when we receive documentation and we go off of the reputation of Canon, that we know that it's authentic. We know that it's been authenticated, it's been looked at and examined, and then we look at it and examine it. So we do take, I guess what you want to say, double looks at all of our credentials of our students. We do find students submitting applications with fraudulent documentation. We've learned how to get better at spotting that before they enroll, especially online. Sometimes it's difficult to do that. But the bottom line is sooner or later you'll be caught. And the further that it goes, the more at jeopardy you are. So what I suggest to students is work with a reliable, reputable agency, help them to vet you and put materials together because we pay attention.
That's it. Now the next question. As we all know, the entire world knows that there has been a change in the administration in the United States. Now, with the new government, there have been new policies and there have been changes in policies. So this is a rather difficult question, I must say, because do you think that these changes, the changes in the administration and policies might or in any way could affect international enrollments? Because this has been an issue right now and we can see it everywhere. So that's a question that most students have at this point.
So one of the things that I think we need to just assure everybody is the United States is still a really great place to be able to come and get your education and a world-renowned class education from our institutions. Second, this is a moment in time, and we always have changes in our administrations, and there's different viewpoints as we come back through. I think there's initial, things that are going on that make it a little bit more curious, or we're trying to figure out which way we're going to go. We know, though, that students coming from India and other countries that are not probably in areas that our government is watching more are going to have an easier time getting through their visa status within that. If you're related into STEM programs, we're still going to continue to do that. But I think the big thing is something that we've learned in the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks now that it's been, is we just breathe every day. And we wait through it because things change and the regulations and the rulings change right before our eyes. So I guess keep positive. America's a great place to come. There will be more scrutiny, and there probably needs to be more scrutiny because what we've been concerned with are students who are coming to the United States, not for their education, but to be able to stay longer than what's expected. What we want to do is always make sure that if our students who come to Tiffin University want to have an education, we're going to make every effort to make sure that they're vetted and that they have all of the right documentation so that they're successful and can stay in the United States.
That's it. And that's how it should be. I mean, every process should be easy, should be transparent, and it should be, students are dreaming of moving to an entire different country. So they should not face any kind of obstacles in their path. So like you said, that United States is a country offering many opportunities and there's a lot to look forward to. So how can students who are aspiring to or who will be going or have begun their application, so how can they maximize on their opportunities, these opportunities that you're talking about? I mean, there are, USA offers a lot. So by moving to the USA, by studying at universities, at prestigious universities such as yours, so how can they maximize on their opportunities? What are they getting in return, the return on investment?
Okay. So one of the things that we always encourage students to do is plan out your time at our university. We make it very easy, which is something we call the Dragon Pathways, but we plan out every major of what happens across the 4 years. And then we tell students what majors or concentrations or minors could they do or certificates could they earn that are complementary to their main major. So the big thing is make sure you maximize your time by earning multiple majors, as well as if there's industry certifications like our computer science program. Our students are able to graduate with probably 2 areas of specialty, but also with something crazy like 16 certifications that are recognized worldwide in knowledge. So being able to, maximize your time within that. Internships are a very important thing. And so at Tiffin University, you have the ability to apply your knowledge into practice, and even an international student has the opportunity to do an internship and gain that practical experience. And I think that's really important. So I think it's planning out your time, maximizing the courses that you're taking, and look at how you can become more marketable by just applying
Hmm.
yourself. And
Absolutely.
then look for those opportunities of internships. And that's one of the things that every student who graduates from Tiffin University has to have an internship that gives them that practical work experience.
That's great. That's really insightful. So now my mind is still stuck on the courses and
Yeah.
programs that you mentioned. I mean, they were very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to know whether there are any specific requirements, admission requirements, because when it comes to straightforward programs, just engineering and medicine, so there are certain requirements
Right.
that almost everybody's aware of. So they think, okay, it's we have to gather these documents and these are the exams that we're supposed to give. But when it comes to forensic psychology, criminal justice, and programs such as these ones, so are there any specific admission requirements or anything that students should be aware of, like other than the regular process that takes place?
So the big thing that I would say is always work with your agent that you're
Hmm.
looking through. But what we say at the undergraduate level is make sure you have a 3 point or a B or better in your
Yes.
course, however that works out into your credentials of coming forward. So if you have that type of credential, you're going to be successful at our university. And then if you're going into graduate school,
Hmm.
make sure that your undergraduate work on a 4 point GPA is at a 3 point. And you're going to be able to do the work and you're going to be able to succeed. Something that we say all the time at Tiffin University is that we'll look at your credentials, we'll look at your background.
Hmm.
Not one thing will dictate whether you're admitted or not.
That's
So
true.
let's say you don't have the best GPA, but you have other things that make us very strong, a case for admission.
Hmm.
We're going to take a chance on you. And we always say to students, your biggest thing for success is show up for class,
Hmm.
do the work, ask questions, be curious, and you're going to make it through Tiffin University. It's not easy, but it's not hard either.
That's
Okay.
And are there any scholarships or any specific funding options that are available for students, especially for international students?
Okay. So yes, there are. And so as we look at trying to continue to diversify,
Mm.
and that's sometimes a bad word in the United States right now, but we try to make sure that we have a global experience for our students on our campus. We have worked with Kanan to put together what we call a preferred student package. And if you go through Kanan, we have put together a $27,000 scholarship
That's
that
great,
really
sir.
brings down the costs that are out of pocket for students, all in with room and board, tuition, fees, insurance and other miscellaneous expenses. It's about
Mhm.
$26,480. So
Okay.
we work really hard to make that. And again, that's because we wanted to demonstrate a strong commitment and partnership with Canon, and we believe in the students who are coming through your organization and the quality of that. And so
Hmm.
we put that together.
Okay. So this basically offers the complete package for all students. So now I can understand why United States is the top destination,
Yes.
it's a top choice for most international students.
Yeah.
So, sir, is there anything specific that you would like to tell our students, and or is there anything specific that you would like to tell parents or anybody who's watching, something about regarding the changes in the United States or something regarding your university,
Okay.
if you could?
So the first thing is again take the chance on the United States and the opportunity to come and get an education. We have, like your country, we have just a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to see, and a lot of experiences. And we drive a lot of things around innovation and change. So that's exciting. I think the other thing is just as if you're looking at this, you will change your life by taking that opportunity to study abroad. And I wish I would have and took that opportunity when I went through my undergraduate work. It wasn't on my radar that I could study abroad or I could go to school in another country. It wasn't the farthest thing from my mind. But what we're finding from our international students who take that chance and take that opportunity, they really come away not only having their lives transformed through our education, but also that ability to better understand the world and take that back to their home country.
Okay. That's really great, sir. And so, what's just a bonus question? So, what's the one thing that you could change in the world if you had the power? Anything that you could change in the world today?
Mm. I think the one thing that I could change is probably like world peace now. It's something that comes down to this. I
Yeah.
think what we have to do is continue to have conversations
Mm.
like this.
Okay.
And it's through conversations and sharing meals, thinking together, being together, that if I know your story, you know my story, and we have conversations, we're going to find a lot more that we have in common than
That's
what
true.
we have to separate. So my whole thing is, maybe we just start having conversations and put aside our differences and start to work towards really some common ground. I think that would be much better.
That's really great. So we need more people like you in this world,
Thank
actually.
you. Thank you.
So, friends, that's it for now. And this is Shreya Raolji, your host, signing off. And we had an amazing and insightful session with Dr. Peter Holbrook. And we would like for more of these sessions in the near future, hopefully. And so that's it. And do watch this video. Once again, I know I'm saying it for the third time, but please do watch this video till the very end, because you will never get these insights anywhere else. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, sir, for
Good.
joining
Thank
us.
you. It was nice to meet you.